There have been a plethora of PlayStation 4 games recently revealed that may have gone a bit under your radar given that there's a lot of going on in the world of gaming right now. However, I wanted to give a little bit of a highlight to all of these titles. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads. And that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. We've got a total of 8 games to go over, so without further ado, let's get right into it. I want to kick things off with a little game called Hotel Barcelona. Suda51 and Suri are teaming up for a horror game tentatively titled Hotel Barcelona. News of the collaboration between Goji Suda51, Suda, and Hidetaka Suiri65 Suhiro for Hotel Barcelona was announced during an IGN Japan livestream. The duo themselves have wanted to work together since the PlayStation VR title they were working on was cancelled in 2018. They decided to collaborate again on a horror suspense title. Tentatively titled Hotel Barcelona, details of the game are still very much scarce. According to Suda and Siri, the game may not even take place in Barcelona, or it may take place in another city instead. Regardless, the duo discussed the possibility of having employees and guests at a hotel stalked by either a killer that is a ghost or maybe another person. Suda also discussed how he'd like to throw in an evil character the player, a journalist covering the opening of the hotel, would be forced to control. Since Suda is more into gore than Siri, who prefers suspense, it's possible Hotel Barcelona would have a little bit of a mixture of both, and them coming together to create a new game I think could be rather compelling. At present, we don't know the platforms the game is going to be released on, but one would think a PlayStation platform would happen given all of the other releases by Suda51 and Siri. One of the publishers the team had discussed the possibility of partnering with is Devolver Digital, and they've worked really well. According to the stream, the publisher was said to have offered 100 million yen, which is around $1 million. Whatever the case may be, we still don't know much about this game, but hey, Suda51 and Siri coming together for a brand new horror title, tentatively titled Hotel Barcelona, I think that could be rather interesting. Next up, I do want to give a shout to Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition, which is coming to PlayStation 4 in Q1 or Q2 2020. We don't have an official release date on that, but this is a game that I'm incredibly excited for. Sail the Stars, Betray Your Queen, Murder a Son. Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition is a gothic horror role-playing game with a focus on exploration and exquisite storytelling. Ready your starfaring engine and venture into an expanse of hostile factions, lurking deities, forbidden knowledge, vast fortune, and fates worse than death. It's a narrative RPG set in the fallen London universe. Explore 4 dungeons, celestial wilderness, impossible industrial empire, pagan midnight expanse, and the mysterious blue kingdom. Choose your crew and your fate, revel your captain's history and skills, change and be changed by the world. Danger lurks in the heavens, fight or flee from sky beasts and enemy ships, and balance fuel, supplies, and hunger to carve out a life in the skies. The game touts north of 800,000 words of intertwining stories with a depth of richness unlike anything else. The first game in the series, Sunless Sea, was really good. That dropped back in 2015, and Sunless Skies itself dropped back in early 2019 on PC, and that was received really well. 86 on Metacritic. Very positive reception on Steam, so to see that make the transition onto PlayStation 4, that'll be relatively exciting. Next up, we have Root Film, which is a brand new mystery adventure title for the PlayStation 4, and it's the follow-up to Root Letter. Katawaka Games has announced Root Film, the next entry in its mystery adventure series for PlayStation 4. It'll launch this spring in Japan, and it'll come sometime later on stateside, one would at least think. Root Letter was a pretty well-received story-driven visual novel, and these visual novel style games are getting more and more attention over here in the States. I'm not saying that they're the biggest game in the world, nor am I saying are they poised to be the next battle royale. However, they are becoming more and more accepted over here in the States, and it's interesting to see more games like this be released over here in the States. Of course, Danganronpa, AI, the Siminium Files, all of these games are very story-driven and of a Japanese sense. Root Letter wasn't a game that a ton of people checked out. However, it did offer a compelling story, and to see a follow-up title in that, good to see it was successful enough where a secondary title was warranted. Next up, I definitely want to give a shout to Plunder Pack, an interesting stealth strategy game from former Zoink game developers. It's a new stealth strategy game from developers that have worked on Stick It to the Man, Ghost Giant, and FE. Plunder Pack is a brand new game done by a new studio comprised of developers that have worked on some very notable games. It centers around a ragtag group of animals making it their mission to steal from the rich to give to the poor, and it's up to you to plan the heist, become the leader of the Plunder Pack, research your targets, build gadgets, and make sure your team makes it home safe. In this stealth strategy game, maybe you'll find both friendship and betrayal along the way. The music and sound effects by Frederick Hathen, so it has really good music design from a presentation standpoint. It's rather charming and captivating as well. The game itself is not going to be out for quite a while. It's scheduled to release in early 2021 for unspecified consoles. I imagine it'll be a PS4 release and a PS5 release. Given that the visuals aren't groundbreaking in any stretch of the imagination, that the PlayStation 4 wouldn't be able to run it. However, Plunder Pack does look like a very charming game, and I wanted to give that some much needed attention. Next up, we have Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. That's launching February 28, 2020 in the West. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 will launch for PlayStation 4 on February 28, 2020 in North America and Europe. That was announced by publisher Tecmo Koei. Romance of the Three Kingdoms has been around for a very long time, and whenever a game franchise hits numerical value 14, you know that there is at least a core audience that really enjoys these games. The game is a historical strategy game that'll have you triumph over the land, take charge of the fate of China, conquer territories, and fly your colors. The game's map showcases the territory captured and the thrill of expansion using a simplified color system. Everything from war to diplomatic affairs will be geared towards managing and gathering land as players attempt to spread their strategies at will across the vast China map. So this is a game that you can invest a ton of time into. I know that strategy games and consoles typically don't go hand in hand, but we've seen a lot of strategy games do relatively well, whether it be a city skyline, upcoming titles like Civilization 6. Strategy games definitely can have a fixture to console gaming as well, and I think Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 could turn out to be a pretty notable title. Again, it'll be dropping February 28th, 2020. Next up, Ancestors the Humankind Odyssey will be hitting the PlayStation 4 come December 6th. Ancestors the Humankind Odyssey first launched on PC back on August 27th, and now it'll finally be coming to PlayStation 4 on December 6th. That was announced by publisher Private Division, and pre-orders are available now digitally for $39.99. This is a really interesting game and a very unique game, and as you embark on the most incredible odyssey known to humankind, human evolution, spanning from 10 million to 2 million years ago before us, begin your journey in Neogene period Africa. Explore a beautiful yet ruthless world from swinging through tree branches in the jungle to stalking prey across the golden savanna grasslands. Decide what attributes to learn and hone in order to pass down knowledge to future generations. From crafting tools to enhancing evasive tactics against predators, just like real life, make sure to eat, drink, and sleep to stay alive and have the energy to face any danger that may come along your way. And of course, there will be dangers coming along your way. It'll have you explore ruthless Africa, expand your territory, and grow your clan, evolve through multiple generations, and choose how you survive. It's a very interesting game, a unique game, and I think the fact that it is priced at $39.99 is going to make it a lot more of an enticing purchase. Again, it drops December 6th for PlayStation 4. Next up, here's a game that I am super excited for, and that is Lost Ember, which is launching November 22nd for PlayStation 4, and it's a third-person exploration adventure title about a wolf who can inhabit all manner of animals along with their spirit companion. Players will be able to control over a dozen different creatures such as a hummingbird, a fish, a mountain goat, and a parrot. Along the way, your spirit guide will narrate the tale of what happened to the lost human civilizations that once settled in these wild lands. Experience the contrasting stories of the fall of mankind and the lush life in a world reclaimed by nature. Explore the land, sea, and air as you possess any creature you come across to experience life from a whole new perspective. Fly through gargantuan canyon valleys as a parrot, tumble through the grass as a wombat, swim through shimmering lakes as a fish. There's a lot to do in the game, and there's a lot of variety in terms of how you attack the game. Again, Lost Ember is due out November 22nd for the PlayStation 4, so it's out pretty soon. And lastly, we have Narcos Rise of the Cartels dropping November 19th for PlayStation 4. Relive the events of the first season of the Netflix series in Narcos Rise of the Cartel, a tactical turn-based strategy game that enables the players to relive the events of the first season of the Netflix series, taking either side of the story. In 1980s Colombia, El Patron's influence is rapidly expanding with drugs, corruption, and crime spreading out from the Colombian town of Medellin. America is now starting to take notice, and it is up to the players to choose their side. They can help the Narcos drug empire rise to the top of the watchful eye of El Patron, or topple the growing criminal enterprise alongside Steve Murphy as the DEA. Narcos was very well received as a Netflix series, and I know sometimes these outside IPs being adapted into video games don't turn out the best, but I'm hoping for the best out of Narcos Rise of the Cartels. It's got an interesting strategy gameplay style, and visually it looks rather good, and gameplay-wise it looks like it has a relatively decent amount of depth to it as well, so we'll see how it turns out. And again, the game will be out on November 19th. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, with these 8 titles, I know that a lot of them went under your guys' radars. Maybe you didn't even hear about some of these titles, whether it be a Plunder Pack that I think looks really good, Suda51 and Siri teaming up for a brand new game, Root Film, the follow-up to Root Letter. There are some cool new titles, and Ancestors the Humankind Odyssey coming December 6th. Again, a lot of compelling titles that are getting lost in the shuffle with some major releases coming up, and just a lot of news and big headlines surrounding the gaming world right now, but wanted to give these games some shine. We'll have them all listed in the description box below, so you can check that out as well. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.